Why is Littlest Pet Shop so expensive? How come people are spending hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars on small pieces of plastic? Is it worth the price to a hardcore collector, or are these people just throwing their money away? I usually don't keep up with the prices of LPS unless I'm actively looking for a specific one, but when I was on eBay getting screenshots for a previous video, I was pretty surprised at what some of them are going for these days. So why do these little toys have such a big cost now? Prices in the LPS community have kind of always been a topic of discussion and debate, but at the end of the day, people are still buying them for these amounts. So why is that? Quickly before I get into the bulk of the video, I want to briefly tell you about LPS MeetMe. LPS MeetMe is a yearly event where LPS fans and collectors can get together to meet up, trade, buy, and sell LPS, enter raffles for free LPS, and more. I think events like this are a great way to keep the community active, so if you are interested, it's being held this summer in Chicago, Illinois, and Toronto, Ontario. If you can make it or just want to know more, all the ticket information will be linked in the description. So then, how come LPS costs so much now? I think there are a few factors at play here. One likely being, well, COVID, yeah. Maybe this one is a bit obvious, but with so much time being spent at home in 2020, a lot of people had the chance to get into different niche hobbies. An example of this being when Pokemon and other trading cards were sold out at pretty much every store. So it makes sense that interest in LPS also seemed to go up at this time. Not to mention the nostalgia of the brand in general. Hasbro's first LPS were released around 2005, nearly 20 years ago. And although the original Kenner LPS were even earlier, around 1992, the version people seem to be most fond of is definitely the 2000s ones. So with that, a lot of the then kids who collected LPS at that time are now adults who are able to get back into collecting. As for me, I wasn't really into LPS as a young child, so I didn't have that kind of childhood collection, but I first got interested in LPS about 10 or so years ago, I think. LPS were still being made, but mostly in the updated newer style, so to get any of the old ones, you had to look online. But even at the time, I didn't expect these little things to cost so much, and now, years later, the prices have only gone up more. As I got more into collecting seriously and learned about some of the less common pets that are out there, it kind of made sense why certain LPS were priced that way if they were really rare. But even some common pets are still costing quite a bit these days. This is likely a big reason why fake LPS have become so popular. Though I personally don't collect them, I know a lot of people want them because authentic versions of those LPS are usually extremely expensive. So why pay hundreds of dollars for something when you could just pay a fraction of that for a similar product? I've even seen people request fakes of specific LPS to be made that haven't been yet because the real ones are so hard to get, whereas fakes are more accessible to newer collectors. Alternatively, other people customize their LPS or commission someone else to do so to look like other pets that would be more expensive to obtain otherwise. Now as for what actually makes certain LPS worth so much, it can kind of be all over the place. Some are expensive because of the rarity itself, like certain variants, prototypes, and country exclusives. Some are just based on popularity, even if they might not necessarily be rare, like the main 5 pets. And some are because of both, like in the case of the Comic-Con cat, which was exclusive to an event and is also part of the main 5. So these days it can sell for over $1,000 new in box. Though there was also actually a Comic-Con hippo, so it's likely that it's equally as rare as the cat since it was exclusive to the same event. And while it still sells for a good amount, it isn't nearly as sought after, and therefore as expensive, as the short-haired cat, because that mold is more popular and desired among collectors. Or take the well-known LPS 909 as another example. It does have a unique design which makes it pretty popular, but I imagine another reason why people want it is simply because it's LPS 909. It's known as one of the most expensive and difficult pets to get, which makes owning it a big achievement for a lot of collectors. And sure, it was exclusive to Walmart, but there were 2 LPS in that set. Yet only one of them is selling for hundreds of dollars, despite both of them being sold together, so really it usually just comes down to what kinds of pets are most sought after by collectors more than anything else. So what, if anything, can be done? I've seen people have a few different takes on this. For one, as buyers, just don't buy LPS listed for that much, and wait for the prices to maybe go down. After all, if people aren't buying a product, the sellers will inevitably have to lower the prices to make any profit. But the potential downside of this could be, it might be difficult to get everyone to collectively agree to just stop buying expensive LPS. Some people don't mind waiting it out for a better deal, while others are willing to spend the extra money to get something they really want. And as a result, the prices may or may not ever go down. I mean, I remember back when pets like 272 or 909 used to sell for maybe, I don't know, $60, and at the time I thought that was a lot for any LPS. I still kinda do, but by today's standard, for those kinds of highly desired pets, that price would be considered a very good deal compared to what they now typically sell for. So it could be hard to say whether prices for certain LPS will increase or decrease with more time. And as for sellers, they could just be told to list their LPS for lower, more reasonable prices. That way, a new sort of standard would be set once people buy the lower priced ones and the higher priced ones don't sell because of that. However, to a lot of sellers, this wouldn't be very appealing because they would be missing out on probably a lot more money. Another thing that likely goes into it could be increased seller fees for sites like eBay. So since the website itself is taking a bigger portion of the earnings from a sale, some sellers make their prices higher to compensate. But this isn't something I know a whole lot about, so if you're someone who sells LPS on eBay or other online stores and you know more, let me know in the comments. But because there are so many different people and opinions and factors involved, it's hard to come to a definitive solution to the situation, if there even is one. As for me, from a buying perspective, I don't spend that much on an LPS just because it's not really in my budget to do so, but if that's something you want to and are able to do, then hey, good for you. And from a selling standpoint, I've never sold LPS, so I guess there's not much I can say on that. But again, if you have more experience here, let me know your thoughts. Still, buying on eBay isn't the only way to get LPS. It's probably the easiest and most popular way to find what you're looking for, but there are other places to get LPS online or even in person, like from local shops and thrift stores if you're lucky, or trading with people, things like that. Though don't get me wrong, I've found some great deals on eBay too, even more recently, so it's not impossible if you look thoroughly enough. So, what does the future bring? Will LPS prices keep going up, or will there be a change anytime soon? Well, with the reboot coming as soon as next year, LPS will be back in stores. Will the old pets decrease in price as a result? Or will they become more valuable since they're the originals? There are still a lot of questions surrounding details of the upcoming LPS reboot, and Basic Fun and Hasbro, the companies behind it, have kept pretty quiet about it all. Like, what generation of LPS will be brought back? Will they re-release old designs or come out with new ones? What we do know, at least, is that it has been confirmed that the new Basic Fun LPS will cost around how much they did originally in the 2000s, at $3.99 for a single pet and $7.99 for a set of two. Although, in an old press release from Hasbro in February 2005, the $3.99 price point was supposedly for the portable pets, which came with a pet and a carrier, or pet pairs, which included two pets. And the $7.99 price point was for assortments of 3 animals. For one pet and an accessory, it was $1.99. As far as I can tell, at least. But hey, either way, it's not too bad for LPS. Apparently part of the reason for the lower price is a decrease in production costs, so hopefully the quality doesn't suffer too much as a result, but I guess we'll have to just wait to see more once they get closer to being released. Ultimately, demand increases the value of something. As long as there are enough people that want certain LPS badly enough, there are going to be people buying them, whatever the cost may be. As much as I'm not a fan of most current prices, I thought it might be an interesting topic for a video. But what's your opinion on everything? Are you someone who saves up to buy an LPS when you want it, or do you spend less but wait longer for a deal? Do you think the current prices are justified, or a bit extreme? And what do you think will happen with LPS in the future? Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments. And for more LPS videos, please subscribe and turn on all notifications, and follow on Instagram for more LPS stuff and video updates to see what's coming next before it's posted here. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!